And we're back after a little bit of time of polishing, a few more coats of paint. I'm not really sure what else I can actually get done this evening because I gotta wait for that paint to dry. But I figured I would go on ahead and show you guys the finished product with all the polishing. I think everything shined up pretty damn good. And yes, you can polish anodized parts to an extent. If you go too crazy with it, you'll start burning the anodizing off. But you can shine up some of it. You know, you can see how this is a little bit lighter than the lower clamp because it's still a little sun faded, but it did bring back some of that shine and deepened up the color a little bit. This one actually cleaned up the most. This was actually sun faded, or at least it looked sun faded worse than that top piece over there. But number plate tab polished up nice, polished up my bolts for the pinch on either side for the fork tubes. These guys shined up pretty good. There's still minor imperfections and stuff in them, but it at least smoothed them off and kind of feathered them out so that I know they're not going to cut the fork seals, but I think they're probably going to leak a little. But I won't know until I actually try it. So before I go and spend the money, I mean, it's not a big deal to take them back apart and send them off and have them coated. I'm going to go on ahead and put it together and try them out. You know, if they get a little tiny bit oily after an afternoon of riding, well, that's no big deal. I don't care. But we'll see. If they leak bad, then okay, cool. I'll pull them apart and I'll get them coated. It's no big deal. But yeah, I cannot wait to get that front end on here because that's going to move the front wheel out a little bit, give me a little bit longer wheelbase. The fork tubes are actually longer, so it's going to raise it up about an inch, which at the moment isn't good because I've still got the stock swing arm with a taller shock, which isn't enough. So I'll have to just kind of set the fork tubes up in the clamps a little bit so it'll sit level for now until I get the BBR swing arm, because that swing arm I think is like an inch or 2 inches longer than the stock one. So just that alone with the angle that it's at, that's going to raise the bike up and give it a longer wheelbase, which will make it a little less wheelie happy, which will be great because this thing wants to loop out from under me in every freaking gear. So yeah, that's the next big one on this, but that's probably going to hold off a little bit because I really, really want to get the 5-speed in this. I didn't get video on it, but I did take it around the block. The automatic is not perfect. The governor valve in it is stuck, so I have to manually shift it through the gears. And it does work, but it's not exactly drivable. So whatever, I have a 5-speed for it out in the other garage. I'm just going to chuck that thing in there and drive it with the 5-speed in it when I get all that. But I have to get the clutch and the pedal assembly first. So that's what's going to eat half my paycheck next. And then I got a close buddy of mine that may or may not be buying that one, but he hasn't given me any money for it. So I'm gonna wash that bad boy, and I think tomorrow I might be taking that up to, where is it? I forget where it is. They're doing the whole drive-in, you know, where they go and block off the whole freaking town. I think it's in Lenore or something like that. So probably going to take it up there, take the dog and the video camera and cruise around, check out some cool cars and stuff. That's on Saturday. I think it starts around 4 or 5 o'clock and runs till 9 at night. So I'll pull that out and go hang out with all the boomers for a little while. And then that over there, maybe Sunday, I'll get it in and finish doing my side exit exhaust. That poor car's just been sitting too because I don't like driving it in the rain. I mean, I do, but it's not the most fun. So I need to get it out, clean it up, do something with it. But anyhow, I'm not going to call it a video there. I'm just going to call it quits for this evening. And I'll put a couple more coats of paint on these. And when I come back, we'll be putting all this stuff together because it'll be the next day. And those will be all dried and have the stickers on them and cool stuff. So I will catch up with you guys and gals tomorrow. Well, it's another day. These guys set up overnight with paint drying on them. I got the stickers put on there. I'm trying to be careful with them because the paint's still not 100% cured, but they are looking pretty snazzy. I've already gone through and put the fork seals in. They're very easy to install on these things. You literally just get a socket that's the size of the seal, smack it with a dead blow hammer, they pop right in, put the snap ring in. Easy stuff. But yeah, now I'm ready to start putting this stuff together. But pretty easy stuff. Today's just kind of a lazy, slow start to things. Got my morning rocket fuel. It actually comes from a local coffee shop over here, not Grounded. Well, that's another one too. Grounded over in Lincolnton, North Carolina. Pretty awesome little family-owned coffee shop. But this one was from the Coffee Lodge. They're over near Troutman, North Carolina. Great little place. Anyhow, try to find the motivation to actually get doing shit. Let's see here. I need these guys, because these just drop into these. Quite simple. Yeah, you're supposed to drop out the bottom there. Oh, I did that wrong. This guy goes here, and then this goes on the other side. And this whole assembly drops inside of there, which I'm going to put some assembly lube on these so I can help further prevent nicking any of the seals, which there's only one seal in there, but you get the idea. How to do this without getting grease all over the carpet over here. That is way too much. Perfect. Put that on there. That. Thankfully, these aren't like, your modern sport bike front ends, stuff where there's a double seal and whatnot. There's just one lip in there you got to be careful of. And as long as you go slow and kind of wiggle it around a little, you're not going to hurt the seal on these. And that guy goes all the way to the bottom. I'll set that down for a minute because I need to put a little bit of silicone on this. I mean, you don't have to. It's got an O-ring and a crush washer, but I put a little bit on there just for safe measure to seal this thing up. Where is my silicone at? Now that I think about it, I'll get some of the black stuff for this because it'll look nice on the black front end, which we don't have, so I'm using gray. That'll be fine. Gets the job done, and no one's ever going to see it anyways. I mean, aside from you. You'll know it's there. I want to say at this point in time, I've got like 6 of you. So, to the 6 of you that do actually watch my videos, y'all are fucking awesome. But anyhow, we are going to continue anyhow because I kind of enjoy this. And if I can inspire just one other person out there to get out and do some cool mechanic stuff, and then maybe they can inspire just one other person out there to do some cool mechanic stuff, who knows, we might get something going here. Kind of change the world for the better. Yeah. So what I'm doing here is I'm using the spring to push on the dampening rod to keep it from twisting while I run the Allen in down at the bottom. Because a lot of times what's going to happen is that sucker's just going to try to spin inside there, and you're not going to be able to get it together, which sucks. Which, as I'm doing this, it's not working because it's not wanting to line up with the rod in there. Let's try doing this. Maybe. What have I done wrong? Because oh, you know what? The rod has not gone through there, has it? That is my issue. There's that. Yep, that's what it is. The dampening rod missed the freaking hole. There we go. Now it'll go together. For reference, dampening rod comes through the hole. That guy sits on the end because it actually sits down in a taper inside here, and then it'll compress up against it. But yeah, that's how that goes. There we go. Use this to center it, hopefully. There we go. Now it's going in there. Fantastic. I can take this and give it a little slap, get it snug down, kinda. Which I'm still gonna have to put it in a vise to get that final torque. But now that we got that on there, I can go on ahead and put the dust seal in, which I'll put a little more assembly lube on this guy. Slide that down, tap it around, and I can pull this guy up. I'll put my end cap on the top, come back and snug the bottom one, and then we gotta put oil in it, which I'm gonna have to stop the video and go look up how much oil this thing holds, because I don't remember from the video how much it actually held. I looked it up a while back ago and I had it memorized for all of maybe an hour. So I'm gonna have to go back and relook at that, but no big deal. That is still readily available information. So on the seal itself, I did put a little bit of assembly lube on the outside just to help make it easier to push into the fork leg. This one I'm gonna put in dry because I don't want it to walk back out. Because when you got them lubed up, well, that's what they do. They come back out. So I will set this guy in there, which, yeah, just presses in finger tight. It's no big deal, which is why I didn't want to put any lube, because when it gets to cycling, it can just pop the hell back out. Yeah, that's good there. So now I'm gonna go look at another YouTube video on how much fluid this guy takes, so we can finish putting that fork leg together and get it done, like 100% done. Yeah, the paint on these is still soft too, so I'm trying to be extra careful with them, but it's not working out. Oh well, we'll get there. Anyhow, I'll be right back. Okay, so these guys take 2.5 fluid ounces of fork oil, and that is going to vary on what weight like you can use. I think BBR, I think they're recommending, like, I forget what the lowest was, but they don't want to go more than like 30 weight. So anyhow, that's what I'm doing because I'm like 180 something pounds. So I want the thick stuff in there, kind of stiffen things up a little bit. Just got my fork oil in, put my end cap on there. And I can put this on, get this guy locked down. I'm gonna have to take it over to the vise, put it in the soft jaws, and finish tightening everything on it. Oh, you know what? I forgot a crucial step here. Leave this off just a little bit here so it'll vent, because I gotta burp these things, because between the two chambers, you'll get air. So we will cycle the fork leg just a little bit here to work the air out of the bottom chamber. Yeah, see, that's what we were trying to get rid of. Oh yeah, that's already a lot more resistance on it. This should do pretty darn good for my weight. Okay, now we can put the top cap on. Now I'm gonna go snug these guys down in the vise, put the other one together real quick, and then I'll turn y'all back on when it's time to start putting the stuff on the bike, because I gotta pull the other front end on wheel and everything off and get ready to start putting the stuff together. All right, so now ready to start taking stuff apart. Try to turn this into something cool again. I know, huh, Bubba? Yeah? Well, take it off then. Actually, I need to get an 8mm too for the fender. I know, I know, I know. All right, start taking stuff apart. Anyhow, and try to get this done in a decent time span, because I might actually go to the Wingadinga meet in Lenore this evening. And if you don't know what that is, you can Google the term Wingadinga. And that refers to all of your, well, the best way to describe one is, if you've ever seen the stereotypical Corvette owner with, you know, the jean shorts and the white New Balances and the Hawaiian shirt tucked into the jean shorts with the Corvette hat, that's a Wingadinga. And yeah, those are the kinds of people I will be hanging out with my Plymouth, which, you know, some of them are pretty cool. Every now and then you get, you know, some of the cool grandpa types that are neat to hang out with, and they got some cool stories to tell, you know, decent dudes. And then you get a few of them that are really fucking irritating. You know, it's unfortunately one of the side effects of having a classic car, is you will run into some old prick who has to tell you what you should do with your car, and, you know, tell you everything about your car that you built and everything you did wrong. Those guys piss me off. Like, I got no sympathy for those guys. They can all go fucking suck a fat cock. It's not my fucking issue. You can, yeah, it's annoying. It's also a main reason why I don't normally drive that car very often, because I despise getting stopped at the gas station on a rainy day and some freaking pot-bellied old fuck who's got to walk up to me and express his disapproval that I'm driving that car in the rain and my dog is in the car. The dog should never be in a classic muscle car, and I'm ruining the interior, and I'm ruining the car by driving it in the rain, and I ruined it by putting 17-inch rims on it. And dude, fucking let people enjoy shit. Fuck off. Anyhow, now that I think about it, I kind of don't want to go. But I've got close friends that are going. So, you know, I might go for their sake, just to go hang out with my people. I don't really care so much about the general crowd of people that associate with those cars. But yeah, that's where we're at. Anyhow, I'm still probably going to go polish the rust on that car and take it out there, because it is by no means a perfect example of that car. I mean, it's in pretty darn good shape, but it's not perfect. You know, it's still a driver quality car. I still want to go out and have fun with it and do stupid stuff with it. Because what else is the point of having it if you're not going to go out and enjoy the damn thing? Just like the Mustang. It's not going to be a pretty perfect representation of a 68 notchback Mustang. Because let's face it, it's not a fastback. All the fastbacks are $40,000+ cars. Which I don't see why. I kind of like the notchback better myself, but You know, I'm part of that weird camp of people that, you know, don't get me wrong, I love the fastback. You know, the Bullet Mustang will always be like one of my favorite cars. You know, a lot of people say Eleanor, and the only reason why I don't say Eleanor is because that poor car has been done to death. Everybody has one. You can't go to a single car meet and not see at least 2 of that car, or at least representations of it. Which, you know, they did a phenomenal job building it. It's a super iconic car. It's awesome. I just don't want one because everybody else has one and it's exactly the same, and it's insanely expensive to have the exact same car. You know, that kind of defeats the purpose of custom car in my book, because if you go through and you get this wildly custom ride, but there is the exact same car with the exact same mods at the car show, is it really a custom car anymore? I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose, because it's exactly the same. If I can go to, you know, a shop and buy an Eleanor Mustang in cash, which you can do, you can go and buy an Eleanor Mustang, it defeats the purpose in my book. Like, it's no longer, it's taken all the fun out of it. It's not a custom car. It's basically a production car. Granted, it's not a large production car. It's a very limited production thing. So it's still special, but it's still something that I can just go buy. I don't have to build it, which, you know, takes away some of the exclusiveness of it being a custom car. But, you know, like I said, you know, if you've got the money and you've got one, by no means am I talking shit, because if I had the money to get one, you know, I would still rock the hell out of that car. It's still fucking awesome, you know? And maybe I'd feel differently about it if I owned one, but I'll never have to worry about that figuring out or learning that lesson, because I am never going to be able to afford that car. You know, it's just like Ferraris and Lamborghinis and stuff like that. Like, yeah, they're amazing. You know, if I could buy a supercar, the Hennessy Venom is probably one of my all-time favorites, because it's just a stretched Lotus Elise with a, you know, insane drivetrain in it, and it's just a fucking phenomenal car. Does it drive good? I have no idea. Is it crazy fast? Well, on paper it is. You know, it's awesome, but I know nothing about that car because I've never driven one, and let's be realistic, I never will. I mean, I would love to, but I know I won't. You know, just like a vast majority of people, you know, who has a cool $2+ million to throw at a supercar. Unfortunately, the people that have the money to throw at those cars usually aren't car people. They're just, you know, millionaires with nothing else to do with the money, and they're just like, oh, it's a status symbol. Let me go buy this $2 million car so it can sit and rot in my garage, and I can pretend to be, you know, an F1 driver with this thing and go crash into some parked cars and somewhere in Europe for a car meet and make for some hilarious YouTube content. Because, man, have I seen a lot of content of millionaires crashing amazing hypercars and shit, because, well, you can afford the car, but unfortunately you could not buy your way into being a car enthusiast. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. It's how I feel about those cars. Is like the ultimate car enthusiast car never gets owned by car enthusiasts. It just amazes me. If, like, you're gonna build a product for a niche group of people, and that niche group of people will not be able to afford it or enjoy or drive your car to the potentials that you built it to do. That's like the ultimate cardinal sin, if you ask me, right there. Of just like, you know, you build this amazing car, you know, that's, you know, performance stats through the roof, and it will never get driven to its potential, other than by like the Stig on Top Gear. Old British Top Gear, not new Top Gear. New Top Gear is a joke. I'm talking, you know, James May, Richard Hammond, and Jeremy Clarkson Top Gear. The good Top Gear when it was real. Yeah. Anyhow, they get their hands on something like that, and you know, they'll go crash it through a field on accident trying to drive the son of a gun. But nonetheless, it's about the only time you ever see those cars really get driven. Unless Whistling Diesel gets his hands on it. Good Lord. That guy, I don't know what got him going or his start in YouTube, but holy crap, I have never seen one person do so many just crazy things that I want to do with insane amounts of money. And I know he didn't come from money, because if you watch his early stuff, it's all like what I'm doing. He was doing it on like the same budget I'm doing it on right now. You know, I got a couple $100 and a ratty diesel truck. I'm gonna go do something stupid with it and have fun. And that's what he did. And turned it into a insane empire. Now he's got his own alcohol brand and all of his shirts and stuff, and everything's going good the way it should for him, which I'm happy for the guy, because it also gives me something to do at night before I go to bed, because his shit's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I love that one though. So I've got friends that go through like, oh, I hate that guy, he's a dumbass. Like, no, he's not a dumbass. Like, he plays a dumbass on YouTube because that's, you know, that's what makes it entertaining. But he's not a dumbass. Yeah. Dude's really fucking smart. And to have done what he's done off of YouTube, and again, he's not, obviously not leaning on YouTube to be the end goal, because otherwise he wouldn't be doing other business adventures. And I'm about to drop this son of a gun on the ground and fuck up my nice bike. Oh, there we go. But anyhow, fuck, where was I going with that? I have no idea. Oh, right, anyways, big money. I mean, you know, people talk shit about him, you know, destroying really nice cars and trucks and stuff. And usually they look nice on the surface, but they're really not that nice. It's just an iconic whatever, you know, like second gen Cummins or first gen Cummins that, you know, I'll go through and run it through a fence and destroy it. But it was just a nice paint job. The underside of it's all rotted out. It's a piece of shit. It's the popular one, which is smart. And obviously had to be a fuckload of fun, because I mean, I would love to do that shit. You know, if I had the money to go buy a fucking Ferrari and go drift the shit out of it and just bomb down a gravel road in that car and just thrash, you know, just full on shit you could only do in Forza Horizon, dude, I am game. Let's do it. That, oh my God, that looks like so much fun. But he's at a place in his life where he can do that. You know, people talk shit, but, you know, I want to do that too. I want to go have fun. But anyhow. You know, how many other guys out there freaking build a freaking General Lee replica car and then put a boosted LS in this thing and just go ham on it? You know, most people, you build something like that, you got to be careful with it because you can't afford to replace it. You can't tear it up because, again, it's irreplaceable. You put so much into it just to get it in the first place, you can't really enjoy it. You know? And that's the big thing there, is like all the stuff I see him get his hands on, you know, whether it be for YouTube content or whatever, the guy uses it, he has fun with it. You know, he may completely destroy it, but you can't tell me he didn't have fun doing it. You know, if I can afford to abuse my stuff to the point of, you know, just to enjoy it, then, you know, hell, I would. But that's neither here nor there. But don't mind me, that's just the ramblings of a small town gearhead playing with mini bikes. All right, let's top clamp off. Look at that, we're almost halfway there. Ah, geez, that one's on there good. I should have left the fork tubes on it. This is gonna suck. Ah, damn it. Yeah, I'm gonna slide another fork leg back in there so I can get some leverage on this thing. So the factory Honda 50 front end just has a nut on top. This one actually has a bolt that goes down in through it. Slightly different design, because these are like a knockoff of the Honda CRF 70 front end. And I mean, they're better than the Honda 50 front end because it has an oil-filled fork leg, and you know, it actually has some measure of dampening, which is great and all, but it's still, it's not perfect. You get a piece of wood or something in there. I got that way tighter. I think I put that on with an impact. Oh, you know what? Mop handle. That might work. That's wood. It won't scratch nothing. Is this the way you're supposed to do this? Absolutely not. But would you look at that? It worked. It's all about creative problem solving. You know, one thing I did not anticipate when getting started on this whole YouTube adventure is normally I've got music playing in the background. And man, does this just, dude, this is a whole nother game doing it without background noise. Like, I wish to hell I could at least have the damn radio going in the background, but then I'll get hit with like copyright crap, which is infuriating because like I am like a microscopic YouTuber. Like I am nobody. I have no following, and I'm still getting hit with copyright crap, which is hilarious because I've got a few videos, like my first couple, with the editing software I've got, it has non-copyrighted music in there that I can use in my videos. So I used it. And 3 of them, after the fact, I guess got copyrighted later down the road. And I'm getting hit with copyright shit on non-copyrighted music. It's like, well, fuck, I can't even put anything in my YouTube videos, which I've seen a lot of other guys that are going through and they use, you know, your generic music, which, you know, it's not great, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's better than nothing. But they can't even use it either. It's just like, damn it. You know, that adds so much to the video, like especially if I'm trying to do some like B-roll footage and stuff like that, that I can't use any of it. It's so annoying. Ooh, I just noticed something. The Chinese bearings versus these BBR ones. So these have a plastic cage, but there's like 3 times as many ball bearings in this than the Chinese one. So I'm gonna grease up and use these because more bearings equals more stability and more strength. So I'm gonna reuse these ones. Interesting. Didn't see that coming. That slows me down a little bit because now I got to grease these guys up, put this together. Get my top brace out of there. And yeah, so if you remember the other one, there's nowhere near as many ball bearings on this one. Way cheaper. All right, well. It is what it is. put some grease on this other one. Grease. And the thing is, these aren't like plastic. They're see, like normal plastic shit would have broke. These are like a polyurethane or something like that, or they're flexy. It's pretty cool. Which means this cage is probably pretty darn durable. I'm not gonna have to worry about it breaking because how old it is already. I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about it. All right, bottom one's greased and in the race. And get the top one set. And I can get these triple clamps on here, and then this thing will start going together way faster. And then once I'm done putting this all together, I got to pull that Plymouth out, give it a wash, vacuum it out, so I can go to the Wingadinga show and go listen to 50s Wingadinga music. Hopefully not get hassled too much by said Wingadingas. It's a fantastic term. Who in the world came up with it? I have no idea. I know I've heard, what's his name from Regular Car Reviews use it. The first time I heard that, good Lord, did it crack me the hell up. That was some funny stuff. Oh, speaking of which, because, again, like most other people, I have nothing else to do in the evenings but bullshit around on YouTube. The dude from Regular Car Reviews, oh my God. So I guess he was like a teacher with, I don't know if it'd be in literature or freaking, what do you call it, philosophy or something. But it cracks me up to hear this dude go from like, you know, how to give like a personification to a car, and you know what this car did, you know, culturally for the world and the masses, you know, and get all philosophical with it. And then like in the video about the Toyota Supra, there's a solid 45 seconds of hot dicks. Like, dude, how fucking unhinged are you? But it's great. It really is. I'm not kidding though. Look up his video on the Toyota Supra. And I kid you not, there is a section in there, I want to say it is a solid 40 seconds of him or 45 seconds or so, of him just saying hot dicks in varying tones and repetition. It's, yeah, very unhinged, very funny. Or just super cringy and uncomfortable. It's however you want to look at it. I thought it was funny. Right. This guy, these neck bearings, just like the wheel bearings on the Mustang, there's a bit of preload you want to them, but not much. Yeah, you want to get rid of the play. I'm going to snug this down ever so slightly, but not like tight, because you want it to be able to naturally fall either way and not have any drag. Otherwise, you'll experience memory steer. And memory steer on a motorcycle is so fucking bizarre, where like when you straighten the bike up, it doesn't want to self-center just from gravity. Yeah, that'll mess you up quick. Anyhow, that feels good there, so I'm gonna leave those alone. Get my top clamp on. Which I'm not going to torque this guy down yet, because it needs to twist a little bit when I get the fork legs in. So I'll just bring it down snug so I can still, it'll hold flat but still twist separately. Because I want to get the fork legs in and get this all squared up before I tighten anything down. Which, speaking of which, it's time to grab some fork legs, which I have already conveniently damaged in the process of getting them ready to go on the bike. which sucks because now I got to touch up the paint on them. But I'm not too worried about it because I want to get this thing together and play around with it for a little bit. And I know they're going to get scratched no matter what because it's a dirt bike. I'm going to ride it. It's going to happen. So we're just going to put it together with my minor scratches and dings and just enjoy it. It's whatever. I'll snug one of those down ever so slightly. I don't want to get them tight again because I still got to go and get everything moved around. But I will like the weight of the wrench just so that they won't slide out. But I can still twist and work them around. Grab the other fork leg. Which really drives me crazy because I painted these things upside down and I thought I got everything and I completely missed the top side of this tab. Ugh. And it sucks. It's right where you're gonna see it too. So I'm gonna have to touch that up regardless. But I will get everything clean and on the bike first and I'll come back through with some brush, touch up paint, fix that. Oop. Swing that through there. Yeah. Damn it. All right, now we got some forward weight on this. I can scoot it back where it was on the lift, or stand. Cool. I'll get the top clamp and set that up maybe. Or maybe put the front wheel on. I don't know. Fuck. Probably scratched it again. Yeah, let's put the bars on. We'll do that. That way I can quit swinging cables around all over the damn place. Still not 100% what I should be doing here at the whole editing of like, do you guys enjoy the whole unedited, just all the way through start to finish like this? Or should I chop this up more and skip around to shorten up the video? Or do you enjoy my rambling about random topics and YouTubers and whatever else? I don't know. I'm not getting a whole lot of feedback, so just trying to figure this whole thing out of, you know, where am I having fun recording what I'm doing, and is it worth watching to you guys? Or girls, who knows? That's another thing, you know, it's not all about me. I'm not going to be selfish in this relationship. I'm worried about your needs too. So, yeah. But for the moment, I guess we're just gonna go raw, unedited, long form content. I got that too tight. That definitely has said no one ever. But anyhow. Try to get these, you know, look here from the side. So I always do it, you know, BMX style, where they're kind of raked forward ever so slightly. That works pretty good right there. Now that I look at this, I wonder if these rises are down lower than the Honda CRF 70 ones, and this got my bars lower. Because if that's the case, I may end up taking these back off and using the other BBR bars that are taller. I don't know. I'm gonna find out pretty quick here. I may have to use the OG chrome bars, even though I like these ones so much. These are really freaking cool bars. You know what? I can't tell, honestly. They're definitely lower, but they're not like way lower. Yeah, they're probably about a ½ inch lower. Let's see. Nah, I think it's like 1/4 inch. Yeah, setting these up flush with the top here. Now they're about a ½ inch lower. Let's get it all together first, and then we'll decide from there. That's a little disappointing. I liked where they were. I'll probably still like them where they're at, but yeah, I'll have to mess with that. See where it sets us. Put this guy back up here. Where's my kill switch? Now it's got me over here thinking about freaking music. Kill switch engage. I would love, you know, have some like backcountry blaring in the background or something, but I can't because fucking YouTube doesn't want me to have fun while I'm doing this shit. Oh well. What do y'all listen to? Yeah, are you into classic rock like Weezer, or modern stuff like Young Jeezy and what's his name? The guy who did that song Lifestyles, where he just babbles incoherently. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, the first time that song came out, I heard it on the radio in a car. I was working at Nissan. I was taking the car to fill it up because it was a pre-delivery inspection. And I swear, I thought it was the radio station, like doing like a prank thing, making fun of like modern rap stuff. And it took me a few minutes to realize that, like, oh no, they were serious. Like that was a legit thing that went through a recording studio, and you know, somebody actually approved that. Like, yep, that's fire. Fucking cut, print, roll with it. And oh man, I was in tears laughing. It was so damn funny. You know, that spot where he goes, it's like, what is going on right now? I turned around and I pulled right back around to the shop and like hollered at one of my coworkers, like, dude, you gotta hear this, this is fucking stupid. And he comes over and starts dying laughing, and it keeps going and it keeps going. And then after a few minutes, we both come to the startling realization of like, oh no, it's not a joke. It's really, oh, what is happening right now? Oh God. But anyhow, I guess I'm just old. I don't know. It is what it is. But anyhow, I mean, I found that shit fucking hysterical. But I mean, I guess he's not that popular anymore either. Just like Young Cheesy. I haven't heard any of his stuff in a long time. You know, maybe he's still making music and it's not my genre, so I don't really know what's going on. Obviously, I don't keep up with it because it's not for me. Yeah. You know, I'm more of a Adam Calhoun and fucking Tom McDonald. There's a lot of really good ones out there right now. Honestly, I freaking love Tom McDonald. That dude's on another level. That's some cool stuff. I like his music. It's got a message to it. It's meaningful. You know, I like the man's content. Uh-oh. Yep, I knew this was gonna happen. So I had to modify the wheel spacers on this front hub for that other front end. And now, looks like I'm gonna have to add a shim in here to space this back out where it's supposed to be. Yeah, sure am. Shit. At least this is small, so I can actually get away with using a thick washer on this side to make this work again. Damn, that's disappointing. But I'll tell you what, this front end's probably like 3 inches longer than the other one. Holy crap. Anyhow, I'm gonna pause the video right here, go find some washers so I can space that out correctly, and then I'll come back when we start putting stuff together. And we're back. Yeah, literally the first washer that I grabbed out of the bin is exactly what I needed. So, I mean, I've literally been gone for maybe 30 seconds. Slip that guy in there, put the axle back in, back on track. So I can get my brake cable put back in here, which is a touch on the long side. The spring's making things a little more difficult, but there we go. That, my cool red anodized adjuster. Was thinking about it earlier, how cool it would have been if I could have gotten a later model sp5 that these were anodized red, because they did that in the later 2000s. They had a bunch of their stuff. They were doing all gold, and then they did like gold and black, and then later on they started offering the stuff in red anodized, which was really cool, which they still do. But yeah, not so prevalent anymore. But again, it's like I was saying before, this stuff has gotten incredibly rare. Or at least the OG stuff has. May run out of adjustment on this here, trying to get this set where I want it. There we go. Oh, I got dragged, damn it. Because just like drum brakes on a car, you want just the lightest hint of a drag on the drum. I'm good with that right there. Alright, so that's all set. Now I can sling my front fender and number plate on there. I've actually got to go find a third fender bolt, because with the CRF 70 it's different and I only had 2 bolts. You know what? I actually don't, because this front end came with the bolts for the fender. They were sitting in it already. Props to the person that sold it to me on eBay. They included every damn thing, which is awesome. For a second there I thought I was going to have to stop the camera and go dig for that. But instead, now you get to suffer and watch me put this together as I continue to, I forgot to frickin' run the piece through the cable. I'm gonna take that back off. Oops, oh well. Let me get this bolted on first, and then I'll fuck with that. Because unlike other YouTubers, I'm not perfect. I'm gonna show you when I screw up. That way we can all collectively smack our foreheads and go, come on. And it looks like I have got some oil cooler clearance issues here. Yeah, sure do. My awesome drilled fender is touching it. Well, shit. Where'd the 8mm go? I don't think I even brought one out here yet. I sure didn't. That's all right. Now we're ready to tighten the center nut down on that, which I know I don't have the socket for that out here, because that's a big one. Yeah, I'm gonna grab that real quick. And I can set the ride height with those, because I know that front end is way high right now. And it's gonna have this thing looking like fucking Easy Rider's chopper, which is cool, just not for this application. Let's see this guy. Nope, nowhere near it. This may take a couple tries. What about this one? Ah, there we go. Big ass ratchet so I can snug this guy down. There we go, that's tight. Take a look down these forks here. Make sure this guy's pretty well straight. It's kind of not. That looks pretty good. Okay. Yeah. Might have these snugged down enough where it'll hold the weight of the bike. Otherwise, they're just gonna go and set it down on the front tire, but we'll find out in a second here, huh? Ah, hey, not bad. All right, cool. Let's see, how does that look? Is it all choppered out? No, that's not bad right there, actually. It's a little high in the front, but it's not terrible. And I know when I sit on it, it's gonna squat. I might slide them down like 10 millimeters in the front, just a little bit, just so they're just barely sticking up. We'll do that. And then I gotta change the brackets and stuff to move the oil cooler back because that's hitting. It's hindering my steering from lock to lock, which it didn't do with the other front end, but with the BBR billet triple trees, they're thicker and it sits in the way. So I have to move those. Oh well. It's not perfect, but we're getting there. Knock these loose. Whoa. Yeah, that slides nice and easy. Oh, it tells me my clamps are straight with how easy that moves. I mean, nice. I need a means of measuring this, something specific. You know what? We're going to use the thickness of this guy right here. Because I wanted to bring it down a little bit. Right to that machined edge. Lock that one down and do the same thing to the other side. That'll look all professional and bring the front end down a little bit. That should set it level. That's probably a solid ½ inch right there anyways. And there. Snug that guy down. The gloss on this paint keeps making me think it's leaking oil everywhere because they're so shiny. There we go. Now I can get an 8mm, tighten these down, put the bolt in that. And then I pull my brake cable back off and run it through the hole for the little cable guide. So anyhow, you get the idea. It's back together. I'm gonna go and do all the little nitpick adjustment stuff, and I'll turn the camera back on when it's all put back together and worth showing off. Yeah, check that out. All right, so what I ended up doing was just deleting the Chinese oil cooler I had stuck on there. I mean, that thing never really did any good anyways, and it just got in the way and it leaked oil. So I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna pull that thing back off. There's no need for it. Especially not with this little bike. And here we go with the BBR billet aluminum goodness. Whole front end kit, all restored and shined up. I touched up the paint in a couple spots where I nicked it putting it together. But yeah, I couldn't be more happy with that. I can't wait to get the rear swing arm. and rear shock for it too, because then I can raise the whole bike up a little bit and make it a little longer, which that front end did give it a little bit longer wheelbase too. So overall it will make it a slightly bigger bike, which, hey, I ain't complaining about that, because with the power that motor makes, this thing is incredibly wheelie happy. And yeah, I mean, you hang it wide open in any gear, the front end's coming off the ground, and there's a good chance it'll just flip out from underneath you, which is awesome. But a different swing arm, a longer swing arm at that, with better suspension will help alleviate that. But I'm gonna call it a video at that one. And now I gotta go wash my car and start getting ready for the Winga-Dinga event tonight. So I can go hang out with those guys, and maybe I'll bring y'all along for that one. But anyhow, till next time, take it easy, y'all.